There we go. That's what it is. There's a lot of people in here, but not a lot of people are talking. So let me introduce myself. My name is Jake Allen. Every Tuesday, I come onto TikTok to talk about pro wrestling. If you're here, it's because you like to talk about pro wrestling. At least, I mean, that's what I think anyways. I should really do a better job of getting my setup here. Never seems to be the way I want it to be. Anyways, I hope you're having a good Tuesday. I got my workout in. That was nice. I had a nice big lunch. I had a sandwich and some egg whites and a protein shake, and now I'm having a monster energy because I'm feeling it, brother. Who's feeling the energy now, brother? Did you guys watch wrestling last night? Be honest, how many of you thought the Demon was going to win the WWE World Championship last night? Be honest. Be honest, how many of you thought, oh, Alexander Misery? Good Lord. That was, why are you ruining all the chairs, Alex? That's a question that I have to ask you because that poor man's head will never quite be the same after you wrapped a chair around it. Peter, what is going on? What is up, everybody? A lot of people are coming and going. I guess it's just how it goes. But yes, Alexander Miserable over on the YouTube. What's going on? I hope all is well. Lesh Dog's in the chat. Now I know I'm going to get roasted. I don't know what you're talking about. Alexander, the video, I saw it. I saw what you did to that poor man's head. That poor man will never, ever be able to think the same way ever again. See, that's the thing about the loss. They're literally opening up people's eyes and literally their brains and rearranging the way they think. What's up, everybody? Lesh Dog, I'm hearing really terrible news about our good friend Kevin Owens. I don't think you'll be seeing Kevin Owens at all anytime soon, you know? I don't think that's about to happen. It's a shame. I wish that were different, but it is, you know, inevitably what it is. I mean, that's the thing, man, about pro wrestling, and it's rough, right? It's rough because the state of pro wrestling, you know, everyone's trying to do the next big thing. And Kevin, it was no different when it came to that. He always tried to give that big moment. And I mean, we saw it in his match with Cody. He was already injured. He knew he was injured, and he still took that opportunity to have, it was an incredible match, but he did take some definite risks in that match. You know, Lesh, I'm hoping it's not over, but it's certainly paused. I don't think we're going to see Kevin Owens in 2026. We might see him in 2027. But, you know, that's the thing about these neck injuries, man. It is not a joke. What's up, Axolotl Kid? Lesh Talk, I don't even know if we're getting Jericho in. Like, that's the thing. A lot of people start talking about Jericho coming to the WWE, but what is the evidence? Stardust, what's going on? What was the evidence to indicate that Chris Jericho was going to be coming to the WWE outside of an offhanded comment from Mr. Adam Pearce, your general manager of Raw? Stardust, how are you today? Like, I don't know that Jericho is coming to the WWE. I'm good, Stardust. I was saying earlier, I got to go to the gym today. I got to get some reps in. It's, you know, Tuesdays are like my favorite days. Mist G, they say there are people who are saying that Jericho is coming back, but I don't feel like Jericho is coming back to the WWE. Is 2026 in WWE going to be lame? I mean, look, Lesh. I mean, you've got Drew Galloway as your undisputed world champion. You've got CM Punk as your world's heavyweight champion. Is that lame? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me if it's lame. But yeah, I don't know, man. Stardust, you would like to see Jericho come back for one time? I mean, look, I think it would get a good pop, but if he's going anywhere, like if he does leave TNA, excuse me, I just blew away my statement. If he were to leave AEW, I think the place I'd like to see Jericho most is TNA. I feel like it makes so much more sense to have Chris Jericho in TNA wrestling than it does in the WWE. In the WWE, as it stands right now, where does he fit in? Where would Jericho fit in the WWE? Because honestly, does he fit in the storylines with Drew and Cody and potentially Jacob Fatu and the rumors about Roman Reigns on the world heavyweight side? Or if we go to, or excuse me, the undisputed world side on SmackDown, but if you go to Raw, then it's like CM Punk, Braun Breaker, Jey Uso, and potentially Gunther when his storyline with AJ gets all cleared up. So I don't know, man. I don't see a good place for Jericho on the main roster for WWE. Putting him in NXT would be interesting, but would he take that as a slap in the face? I mean, it would help definitely get some of the younger talent over. And look, Jericho has a propensity for working with the youth, right? Jericho did a lot for AEW's youth movement. I mean, I'm just saying. And I'll say it again, Jericho and TNA Wrestling, I think now you're talking, man. I mean, like, look, Frankie Kazarian, Santana, you throw Jericho in the mix with that? Woo, doggy. And then if the rumors are true, they put AJ Styles back in TNA for a short run or even a long run before he retires. I mean, I think you're really adding something to that. Peter, I don't no disrespect, Peter, but I'm not asking anyone to join the show right now. I hope you can understand and be okay with that. On Tuesdays, it's kind of more of a, I'm going to talk to you guys about WWE, AEW, New Japan, CMLL, AAA, TNA, whatever you want to talk about. And then the second hour, I talk about the National Wrestling Alliance. But if you have any comments, I'll be happy to read them. I'll be happy to speak to it. But yeah, my name is Jay Cal. Every Tuesday I come on to TikTok to talk a little bit of pro wrestling. I hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. If you enjoy wrestling content, please give me a follow. What's up, Haley? I owe Haley a beanie. I owe Haley a beanie. You saw El Grande might give receipt to Vikingo. Yeah, I think Vikingo, man. Did you see that kick that he laid into El Grande? Damn. Ryan, if you think I look like Kevin Owens, you need to follow me because I do a lot of Kevin Owens content. I'll cosplay as him. I'll dress up as him. You know, it's crazy. We get crazy over here. Haley, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. They used to tell me when I'd get follows and stuff. Oh, not the... That's crazy. This one? Yeah, there it is. Right. Well, see, Ryan, you don't make the list unless you say I'm Kevin Owens. When you tell me I'm Kevin Owens, that's when shit hits the fan. That's when I lose my cool. Because I am not Kevin Owens. And don't believe what Lesh Dog is saying. He's a known liar. He's known to not tell the truth from time to time. Lesh Dog. Why did I say it like that? Lesh Dog. Let's see. Holy crap. Trust me, I thought about saying it. Ryan. Well, then just say it, Ryan. Say it. Say it. Say that I'm Kevin Owens. I dare you to.
A new list.
Because then you make the list. Not my Costco shopping list. I've got a whole book of names here, Ryan. And Ryan, you could be one on that list. Right, Saddam, good. Good. See, Ryan learned. Ryan understands. Jose, thanks for sharing the live. I appreciate you, sir. Hey, Haley, how dare you? How dare you? Weird kink? It's not that weird. I mean, it's not a kink. I don't know how to respond to that, Haley. But Haley's name is now officially on the list because she didn't make the 26 list last time I was on. I'm not Kevin Owens, I'm Jake Cal. There, I said it. I'm not Kevin Owens, I'm Jake Cal. I am not Kevin Owens, I'm Jake Cal. And that's why your name's on the list.
How come my name's on this?
Your name is on this because you called me Kevin Owens. Do you know what happens when you call this man Kevin Owens? Thank you, Ryan. Ryan gets it. Ryan gets it. Ryan understands. Thanks for joining the party, Ryan. You are officially welcome to the cookout or whatever party. I had headphones on, and it turns out they weren't even connected. So what's the point of having the headphones on? That's just stupid. It wouldn't work. I don't think they know what happens when you call them. Ryan, explain to them. Explain to them, Ryan. You got to understand. It's a big deal. You know what happens when you lie about not being Kevin Owens? You know what happens? Shit. Mike, you are one of the funniest guys on TikTok. I will say that. You make me laugh. What's up, Craig? How's everyone doing? Haley is on that wild side. The wild side. What did you guys think of Raw last night? What? Oh, it's Soto! What's up, chat? Soto, direct from parts unknown. Ziplining across the country and in our hearts. Why am I on the list? Soto, when do you come home? Because people keep asking me why you aren't live. When do you think Jericho returns, if he returns? You know, I don't know when. I honestly, I don't think Jericho's coming to the WWE. At this point, I am very inclined to say that he stays in AEW and he's just taking time off. But when Jericho returns, I'm thinking probably if he were to come to the WWE, Rumble makes the most sense. And if not Rumble, then SummerSlam. Because it's got to be a big event. And WrestleMania doesn't make sense because you need to be built up for WrestleMania. I wouldn't bring a surprise to WrestleMania unless it's not somebody like Jericho. Your tribal chief, I don't know. So Ryan, and I don't know what his status is, right? I don't know what Chris Jericho's status is, but I know that, for example, Matt Taven was under AEW contract. Matt Taven's contract expired at the end of January. He made it very well known that he would not be re-signing with AEW, and he's exploring options like TNA, NWA, MLW, etc., etc., etc. Jericho has not said anything publicly about his contractual status with AEW, and AEW has not responded with his contractual status. All of a sudden, during John Cena's retirement, people were clamoring for Jericho to come back to the WWE, but it's not like he had an out in his contract. If his contract expired at the end of December, like Matt Taven's, then they probably would have taken him off the roster page like they did Matt Taven, but they haven't done that yet. Now, does that mean he is a free agent or he's signed? No, it just means that at the very least, they're not consistent with how they handle talent. What Royal Rumble surprises do you think we will get? Now, these are not confirmed by anyone. These are just my guesses. I think we're going to see somebody from Pro Wrestling Noah. And if they gave me an opportunity to choose who, I would choose Naito. Why did I say it like that? Naito, formerly of New Japan Pro Wrestling, mostly because if that Pro Wrestling Noah relationship is there, even just an appearance at the Rumble, I think would be cool to see Naito in the WWE, just even if it's for a millisecond, right? Just if he's just there for a little bit. And then I think Obafemi's going to be in it. Dawson, a lot of people think I'm going to be, I thought I was Kevin Owens. It's a trick. It's all magic. It's smoke and mirrors. Ryan, I liked Taven. It's making the sound thing. Hey, thanks, Zach, for letting me know. I have a very small office space here, so the router gets a little too close and it makes weird sounds. So I apologize if that happens to you guys. Let's see. I'll get to that Matt Taven question, and I'll get to the AJ question. Ben asks, is Rich Swann signed to TNA or the NWA? Rich Swann is kind of like a freelancer. I think he is working with TNA without a contract. I think AJ Francis also is working in TNA without a contract. So that allows him to go anywhere as long as his dates don't conflict with what's happening in TNA. And I don't think TNA looks at the NWA as opposition, because the NWA is much lower on that spectrum of pro wrestling. Let's see. Haley, you think Joe? Like Joe Henry? Which Joe are you talking? Oh yeah, you have to be talking about Joe because you just brought up other TNA guys. Do I think AJ Styles will retire next Saturday after Gunther told him to put his career on the line? I don't. I think this is a bait and switch. It's a swerve. I think they do this because a lot of people will just assume that that's what's going to happen. And I think unless someone has told me otherwise, I don't think that AJ is going to be leaving anytime soon. Noob, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I hope you're doing well. Today is Tuesday, so we're doing the whole pre-show, the pre-show to the pre-party. Easy for me to say. And I think that I don't think it's time for AJ to retire. I know he said he would be retiring at the end of the year. Thank you for the heart meet, Keith. Thank you for the heart meet, Ben. Appreciate you guys. He did say he'd be retiring in 2026, but we all assumed that meant the end of the year. So if he retires before then, I mean, that'd be shocking to me. I'd be surprised. Keith, not much, man. Just, doing the damn thing. Talking pro wrestling with this hashtag NWA fam, wrestling community, whatever you guys want to call yourselves. The KO Nation. Lesh Dog, don't run with that, please. Do not run with that. Lesh Dog, it is not the KO Nation. Let's see. So yeah, I don't think AJ is going to retire this weekend. I think there'll be some sort of some big swerve in the middle of that match that will prevent. There'll be a way to get out of it, where maybe this time AJ taps on Gunther's backside where the referee doesn't see it, and Gunther drops the hold, and then AJ gets the win. Kind of fair play type thing. Really, Keith? Really? I didn't know that. You know what? I'm gonna just Google that real quick. If you guys will humor me real quick, I'm gonna check that because I hadn't heard that. When does AJ Styles contract? Because if that's the case, man, then he should then he should just go to TNA and finish out his career in TNA. When does AJ Styles contract expire? Ooh, I like that, Double D. We'll get to that in a minute. Well, Bing is a joke because they have that's LA Knight, not AJ Styles. According to Bing, and this is referencing Ringside News plus two other sources, his contract does not expire. It's set to expire at the end of 2026. Many are speculating that he will retire at the Rumble. He has confirmed that he does not plan to extend his contract beyond this date. What date, though? He didn't give us a date. His current contract expires at the end of 26 and has no plans to re-sign. Okay, so yeah. So, I mean, then we're all just speculating. And I don't have a problem with it, right? I don't. If AJ retires, look, at the end of the day, for me personally, I want all of our wrestling, heroes to, get the run that they want, make the money that they can, take care of their families, and retire so that they can live healthy, normal lives at the end of their time in the industry. Anybody who walks away, like Bryan Danielson, I recently heard him talk about how severe his neck injury has been, where he's still like just barely surviving, man. Like plane rides, his neck hurts. He can't sleep well unless it's in his own bed, and even then, it's like 15 pillows just to get comfortable. I'm not okay with that. Dave Scooby says if Hobbs heads to WWE, pair him up in New York with Ricky Starks as a Diesel type bodyguard until he learns the WWE style. That's not a bad idea, Scoop. I don't hate that. Okay, so let's see. More of the comments over here. Let me get some water. Stay hydrated, my friends. Big thing. There's a lot of people breaking kayfabe footage, and many people do not like it. Yeah, I don't care for the kayfabe break. Now I know that happens a lot, and I think it's kind of hard to you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube with WWE. You know, basically destroying kayfabe with the whole Unreal series. It's hard for you to ask the fans now to be respectful of kayfabe when the companies aren't even doing that. So, I mean, it's kind of a lost cause. But if you don't want spoilers or anything, you should probably stay off the internet, because I don't think there's a way to avoid it. If he goes to TNA, he can still appear on WWE TV. Absolutely. We see that a lot. I mean, Joe Henry just went back to TNA for their Genesis pay-per-view. Leon Slate, he is a TNA contracted performer who was literally, he missed his dates with the WWE to be in the UK. Now, apparently there was a visa issue, and the WWE just took advantage of that. At least that's the story that they're telling us. But man, that sucks. He missed out on the big shows for both Genesis and their debut on TNA on AMC, which I think kind of hurts them, right? You know, Leon Slater is a superstar in the making. He is the Javon Evans of TNA wrestling, and as Javon Evans is the Leon Slater of the WWE. So it's a big deal. But you know, if he couldn't get to the country, that you can't blame him for that. Yeah, Keith, I remember him showing up on the Rumble, and at that point, in 2016, I wasn't really watching a lot of WWE. I would always tune into the Royal Rumble because, well, it's the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, kind of like the two pay-per-views. Even when I wasn't watching weekly, those are the two pay-per-views I'd always check on. Just even if I watched them in the background of things, it was something I'd always watch. So seeing him show up, I mean, the rumors were that he would, but seeing it in person, it was pretty cool. And then the theme music just gave me goosebumps. Double D says, yeah, reunite Team Taz in NXT. I mean, a lot of people think that a lot of people have speculated that Hobbs goes right to the main roster on SmackDown. I don't know, man. I have trouble with Hobbs, and I know a lot of people love the guy, and I don't have a problem with him per se, but like they're treating him like he is the next big thing when you just got Obafemi over, and now he's coming to the main roster. And I'm not saying you can't have two very muscular black guys on the roster, but like Hobbs is not a WWE superstar. Hobbs works the AEW style. He has to relearn how to work a more WWE style. It was Ricky Starks had to do it. Ethan Page is doing it. You know, I feel like you don't just rush these guys to the main roster because they have name value. And look, NXT is literally on CW, a a national distributed television program that most of you get even without an antenna. So it's like you don't need cable to watch this program. So I don't get it. Yeah, Ben, that's true. AEW did break kayfabe with that All Access show, and that really helped. It really hurt Britt Baker and really helped Thunder Rosa at the time. The perfect end for AJ was Finn dethroning Punk. AJ wins Rumble. Finn versus AJ at Mania, but WWE didn't see that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that was ever really in the works, to be quite honest with you. I love Finn Balor, but I don't see him dethroning CM Punk. I think Punk got the title back because Rollins was injured, and I don't think they're willing to give somebody else a shot at it until they figure out what they're going to do next. And there's nothing wrong with Punk holding that title till Mania. You know, Punk came back to the WWE to get that WrestleMania moment, and if he's going to get it, he needs to be champion to have it, I think. And I don't know that Braun is ready yet either. Like Braun Breaker is phenomenal, and I think he is a future superstar. But we don't need to rush it. It's not like Braun Breaker is in the twilight of his career. He's literally in its infancy. I mean, his NXT. Oh, Ben, thanks for the gifts. That's very much appreciated. Thank you. He's very much in the infancy of his career. I mean, yes, he had some time in NXT for a few years, and he's still like he had the great reigns with the IC title. Braun Breaker's gonna be the guy. At some point, he's gonna be the guy. You know, and especially when you have guys like Obafemi on the main roster, and you've got guys coming in like Hobbs, and there's people speculating Wardlow might be next. I mean, there's going to be a huge group of just big bad dudes on that roster. But we don't need to usher out Punk until Punk is ready to leave. We don't need to kick, AJ Styles out the door. I mean, all these guys need a shot. They need opportunity. Do we get a babyface Finn? I think, Keith, absolutely. After the reaction that he got in Northern Ireland, I think the WWE is going to be like, wait a minute, there's money to be made here. And it's not like the Judgment Day is anything now anyways. The Judgment Day was Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest with Adam Copeland as their leader, Edge. When Edge left, it was, they brought in Dominic, and they brought in, eventually later Liv, and they kicked out Rhea and Damian Priest. And the group has evolved, and JD and Carlito. The group has definitely evolved, but I think at this point it's ran its course. I don't know what else there is to do. If you keep the females under the Judgment Day banner, I mean, I guess that's all right. But it even feels like Liv and perhaps Liv and Roxanne are headed for a feud down the road. And Raquel's currently pursuing the Women's World Championship. So it feels like even that has some calamity written all over it. Adam, I don't know what you mean by AJ Lee, but give me some context and I'll try to answer it. I personally think we get a Jacob Fatu Rumble win and the lock-in on Drew Jacob feud. Wow. I mean, that would be pretty cool for Jacob Fatu. I don't hate it. I would love to see more of it. We'll see. And Danny, thank you for the floating heart. I appreciate that over on YouTube. Thank you so much. And thanks for the GGs. I love the GGs. Good game. Appreciate that. Is Finn one of the favorites to win the Rumble? Lesh, I haven't heard anyone talk about Finn winning the Rumble. It would be awesome if he did. And Ben, thank you for the GG. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I haven't heard anything about Finn winning the Rumble or being the guy in the Rumble, but I'd take it. In your opinion, who is the better wrestler at 30 years old? Konosuke Takeshita? Oh, I misread your question, Ben. In your opinion, who is the best wrestler at 30 years? I mean, Takeshita is a good choice, man. I don't know who's better than Takeshita right now. I mean, he's kind of killing it in New Japan, in New Japan as well, but in AEW at 30, that's tough, man. Hey, Danny, thank you for the 100. Appreciate that. I like Takeshita a lot, and I think he should be a bigger deal in AEW. And who knows with the whole feud with the Callis family and how things like kind of play out over there. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing Takeshita win the AEW championship. I don't see him taking it off of MJF, but certainly I think he could be one of the the big figures of the AEW going forward, like him and MJF and of course Swerve. I feel like they're phasing Samoa Joe out of the title picture, which is okay. But like Hangman Page, I feel like that could be like the Fab Four of the future. A Solo deserves a world title push. I like Solo. I don't know if I see Solo being a world heavyweight champion, but Solo has certainly got his spot and gets his spots in, and he's way more talented than I think a lot of people realize. Solo Sikoa, dude could cut better promos than either one of his brothers. Do I see Cody turning heel? So, I want to say yes. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I want to say no. I think if I was the WWE and I'm pushing that machine the same way they pushed Roman for all those years, the same way they pushed John Cena, I absolutely don't see any value in turning Cody heel except where it plays off what the fans want. The fans want to heel Cody. The fans want to boo Cody. The fans want to turn on Cody the same way the AEW fans turned on Cody. And for that, kind of like sometimes you got to give the audience what they want. But what I loved about Cody is he never really changed his gimmick from AEW to the WWE. People just respected him and loved him again when he came over to the new brand, to the, well, not the new brand, but his old brand. But he, like, nothing changed about Cody from AEW to the WWE. People just liked him again, and it, the fickle audience has always had their favorites, and Cody still sells T-shirts. He still is a huge merch mover. The kids love him. You know, of course, when you drape somebody in the red, white, and blue and the Star Spangled Banner and you put them in a foreign country, especially under these current economic times and political times, I could see why it's easy for Cody to get booed in Europe and the UK. But, let's see how he does when they come back to the United States. Losing the title was a huge thing, and I feel like that's a great move for the WWE because it now tests the waters. Can Cody get back over? Can Drew stay over as a babyface? I think these are all huge benefits to the WWE. Because if you have a babyface Cody forever, it does get stale. But having Cody take the time out, it gives you an opportunity to push somebody else, whether that's Randy Orton, whether that's LA Knight, whether it's Drew as a face. I mean, so many things could happen. Hey, what's up, Mia? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well today. I saw Cody Rhodes finish the story at Mania 40 Sunday in Philadelphia in person. That's cool, man. Is Cody like the new Cena and can't turn heel? I feel like that, Lesh. I do. I feel like that's the benefit, right? Cody sells merch. It's the same thing with Jey Uso. A lot of people were predicting Jey Uso to turn heel, and he still might, right? He still might. But why would you take away that luxury of somebody who moves merchandise and the idea of business? Not storytelling, but business. Selling T-shirts is what makes money. Selling tickets is what makes the WWE money. The compelling storylines are secondary to moving merchandise. I mean, that's business. Jose said, "What's your thoughts about Natty turning on Maxine?" I mean, Jose, to be quite honest, I felt like this was the absolute only scenario that this was going to end. I don't feel like at any point during the Natty training that she was going to, become a tag team partner with Maxine or that they were going to be besties forever. Like Natty, unlike Cody, has been on the roster for a very long time and have not been elevated. They have not put Natty in a position where she could be successful. She kicks and screams and fights for every little spot that she gets, and she's a great talent. And I feel like Natty could be almost like Ronda Rousey in a sense where she could be a badass heel and straight up say, "I'm going to kick your ass," and then go out and do it. There's very few people on the roster like Natty Neidhart, and I hope we get the Natty Neidhart that we've seen in the Independents, the one that showed up for the NWA Crockett Cup last year and beat up Kenzie Page. That's who I want to see. What's up, Foxy? Hope you're having a good Tuesday. My best friend won Wheel of Fortune with her and won a trip to Mania 39 in LA. That's amazing. That's so cool. I would love to go on Wheel of Fortune. Is Vanna still on it? I haven't seen Wheel of Fortune in maybe 15 years. But I hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. We're just talking a little bit of pro wrestling, and I appreciate the conversation. One of my favorite questions today was who's the best wrestler at age 30? And Takeshka's probably right up there. I think MJF is younger than 30, but he'd be up there as well. Yeah, Ben, actually, Shotzi Blackheart appears on this episode of Power that happens today. You can watch it right now on Roku Sports. And she's challenging for the NWA Women's Championship against Natalia Markova, a different Natalia. Ryan, thanks for putting that out there. I appreciate you, sir. But I hope everyone's doing well. Let's see. What's good? You won't like what happened. Ryan, I appreciate you keeping them in line. We need that. We need people to be kept in line here. Yeah. Let's see. So TNA wrestling. What are you guys' thoughts on? Even though I'm very tempted to call you. That's funny. You look like The Rock. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. What did you guys think of TNA last week? Anyone watch it? I did not see it myself. I don't have cable. Go Cats just made the list. Damn it. We were doing so good, too. And Go Cats has to come in and call me Kevin Owens. Ben, it was a waste of your time? That sucks. I heard that there were visa issues. I don't know if that was storyline, because if it's true that there was a visa issue with Leon Slater and they could not get Slater to the United States to wrestle, then putting him in that title match with Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown, I mean, that's definitely making lemonade out of lemons, right? It's definitely doing something. But man, when you advertise a match and you don't come through with it, I feel like that's a bad look. And it's awesome that I liked Frankie as champion, but clearly they have other plans. Go Cat says, "Are you coming back to wrestling?" No, well, we were talking about that earlier. It sounds like Kevin Owens might be done, and it's a shame if that's true. And again, his health is a far greater priority than our fantasy booking, right? Ultimately, he has 2 kids and a wife, and I think he needs to be around to take care of his family, right? Like, that to me is the pinnacle of being a man and being a father, more than pro wrestling. But there's so many what ifs. Ben, thank you for the heart me's. I do appreciate you. That's so much appreciated. But I feel like we are missing out on what could have been some really fun interactions, some matchups. His whole heel turn on Cody, and if Cody does turn heel, would have been so much more punctuated with Kevin Owens being like, "I told you so." Go Cats, I literally am talking to you. I literally am talking to you. I put you on my list, Go Cats, and I'm answering what you said about Kevin Owens. What more do you want, Go Cats? I'm not going to give you my kidney, sir. Go Cats, it was funny the first time. If that's what your response is, there's a button I can push that could take care of that for you. Thank you, Jose. That's what it is. You're getting close. All right, Go Cats. Well, we're gonna mute you. Okay, you can come back next time. I'm not here for your entertainment pleasure. I'm not here to sing and dance for you, man. I'm here to talk wrestling. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. We're here to talk pro wrestling. I'm not Kevin Owens. My name is J Cal from TheAllianceBlog, and I talk pro wrestling. That's what I'm here for. I'm not Kevin Owens. I'm J Cal. I'm not Kevin Owens. I'm J Cal. You say I'm Kevin Owens. I say I'm J Cal. I'm right. Ryan, I do play video games from time to time. I haven't played in a while. I have my PS1 that's literally unplugged and sitting on my shelf over here. But the best wrestling game of all time is WWF No Mercy for the Nintendo 64, and I'm willing to die on that hill. Where's your scarf, Kevin? No, not the PS1. No, not that PS1. At the Xbox One. Did I say PS1? I can't be held accountable for what I said. The Xbox One. Xbox One. I could play Blu-ray movies on it. I did. Look, I'm fine with Cats being in the chat. I'm just not gonna sing and dance like a sing and dancer. I don't know. No, I don't have a PS1 Double D. I am old, but I'm not that old. Well, yeah, I am that old. But I did buy. I have an Xbox. Guy's gonna make me pull all my stuff out just to show it to you. I'll show it to you. Oh, it won't. Is it plugged in still? Oh, it is plugged in. Nope, still plugged in. Come on, you son of a gun. Ah, there it is. There. See? An Xbox One. I wasn't lying. It's here, okay? Ben, thank you for the heartbeats. Ben's like, I'm going to give J. Cal a present for pulling out his Xbox One. Brock Lesnar returns to the WWE at the Royal Rumble and the Men's Royal Rumble match. Maybe. I'm not holding my breath for anything when it comes to Brock Lesnar. As much as I can appreciate what Brock Lesnar did for the business. I can appreciate what Brock Lesnar did for the industry. But at this point in the day, I'm not a huge Lesnar guy. And when there's younger, better options, look, I'd rather see Braun Breaker wrestle. Let me see what Oba Femi could do on the main roster. If I need a big muscular guy, I got Oba Femi. And the dude walks so good, man. It's so cool. Did you watch AAA wrestling? Yeah, Corrupted. I did watch most of their Saturday night on Fox, which I guess aired on YouTube. I was watching that. Did you guys see the Gafu, the mistake, where they used AI videos to show Dom with both belts, but instead of the AAA title, they showed the AEW title? Holy shit, man. I think the WWE should be sued just for doing that, just for using AI. With Javon getting injured, could have been concussion or shoulder injury within the match being stopped. Oh, you know what? I think I might have missed that, Jose. I think I did. I think I did miss that. Dom is AEW World Champion. Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't know he beat MJF, but I'm here for it. I mean, I think at some point down the road, we are going to see a matchup with MJF and Dominic Mysterio, but I don't think that's until they're both in the WWE. Oh my God. You don't like Dominic Mysterio, corrupted AAA? Dom is the best, man. He is el rey de luchadores. Did I say that right? I don't think Mia's still in the chat, but she would correct me if I was wrong. You don't like Dominic. I think Dominic is the future, man. I think Dominic is going to be... We're going to talk about Dominic in the same way we're talking about John Cena. No, not John Cena. I went too far. I think the kids that are watching Dominic Mysterio today will look at him the same way that we look at Eddie Guerrero from 20 years ago. And I think he will get better once he gets healed up. But I feel like doing the double duty with working in the WWE and in AAA, he really is going to get better. And I also feel like, it's interesting. Dominic really didn't have a long time in NXT. He didn't really stay in NXT for very long. And he was kind of pulled up to the main roster. So we literally watched his evolution as a pro wrestler right in front of us. We got to see the growth of Dominic Mysterio, and he went from the son of Rey Mysterio to Dirty Dom. And I feel like in even such a short time, he's really grown into the character. He's grown into the role, and he is the Mega Campeón. He is still the Intercontinental Champion, and I feel like he has gotten really, really good. And that's the thing about pro wrestling. It's an evolution process, right? You're not the same person you were when you started. If you look at Cody Rhodes. He was Stardust, man. He was Stardust. He had the mustache. He was in Rhodes Scholar teaming with Aaron Stevens. And wait, corrupted AAA. Are you trolling right now? You said you can't stand AEW. There's too much talking. Are you trolling right now? I don't know if you are. It's all right if you are. I don't mind the trolling, right? I don't mind trolling. What I do. Oh, thanks for the likes, Chrissy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't mind trolling. What I do mind is like the spamming. You can't watch them. Okay, look, I'll be the first one to admit that pro wrestling, I feel like it's so diverse that you don't have to just pick one. And if you don't like one, you don't need to hate watch it, right? Like there was a couple years ago when the WWE was pretty much all that was available. TNA was there, but it was hard to watch. That was a rough time to be a fan of pro wrestling. You had to go outwards. You know, New Japan. I think New Japan World was available, but it wasn't like easily accessible. Now, I mean, you can watch wrestling everywhere, and it's almost every day of the week now. Assassin, I did not see TNA Wrestling's debut, but I heard it was really rough. And you know, that's the thing. It's a growing process, and anyone who was expecting it to come out being perfect, I think they were kind of kidding themselves. There's always going to be issues when a show debuts on a new program, on a new channel, a new format, everything. It's never going to be just easy. I know people in the wrestling industry that have done live pay-per-view events, and everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And it's just like I'm not going to hold people accountable for the first show. If we've got a month worth of television and it sucks, okay, but that's still only 4 episodes. And you look at the longevity of TNA wrestling. Remember, TNA wrestling lasted longer than World Championship Wrestling. Hey, thank you for the roses, Double D. And if that's the case, man, then why are, I'm going to give TNA as much time as they need to get firing on all cylinders, get the visa issues worked out, get some more of the storyline kind of acquainted, having some more of the stars debut. I mean, they brought in Cora Jade. I don't know if she's wrestling as Elena Black, but having her come back to pro wrestling, I think is a great move. She was very talented. I don't know why she didn't get over in the WWE better, but, I'm hoping that all this is going to happen. Let's see. Chrissy, that's why I choose to be a fan of the performers and not the companies. Exactly. I'm a big baseball fan. And as a baseball fan, I say I root for the name on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back. But in pro wrestling, I flip that script. It's all about the name on the back of the jersey. I liked Cody Rhodes when he left the WWE. I followed him to New Japan and ROH and eventually All Elite Wrestling. I used to be a huge Jericho fan. I was watching Jericho when he was in, ECW, and then his debut in WCW, and then to WWE, and then AEW and New Japan. Like I've always followed and been a fan of Jericho. Well, I was. Double D, I'm excited about that too. The surprising return of Daria Ray, the former Sonya Deville. She was good in her role. Remember, she used to be co-manager with Adam Pearce on Raw back in the day. And I guess, if she can't wrestle, that's like the next best thing. His mirror Cody was funny. Yeah, and the same thing, Ben. I did think Cora Jade would have been brought in to AEW. Like they tend to sign a lot of talent, and she's pretty good. I've always thought she was pretty good, and I don't know why she didn't get picked up sooner. I saw Elena Black for the first time, Cora Jade wrestling with the United Wrestling Network on their Primetime Live series. That's the first time I saw Priscilla Kelly as well, who a lot of people remember as Gigi Dolan in the WWE. Great talents, and it's like, okay. And Matt Cardona, Chelsea Green both proved to the world, like, you don't need the WWE to still be successful. Of course, they both wanted to be back in the WWE, but there's a blueprint. And they've literally been saying this for years. Like, going all the way back to Bryan Danielson, Brian Kendrick, both were under WWE contract in their early 2000s. And part of Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy, they moved to Memphis. And they're like, hey, you guys are great, but we just don't see as a fit. Go learn a new hold. Go do something. Go get over elsewhere. And when the time comes, we'll bring you back. And both of those guys came back to the WWE. Brian Kendrick as both a tag team champion, the junior heavyweight, cruiserweight champion later, but he was even involved in the world title picture. He briefly held the world heavyweight championship in a match. It's like, yes, if you don't get over in your time in the WWE, that doesn't mean it's a death sentence. It means go get over somewhere else. Drew Galloway did the same thing. Matt Cardona, more than anybody else, put in the work, man. That guy was working so hard. Yeah, Spanky, that's right. Natty is a babyface was born. It's good to see her as a heel. I agree with that, by the way. Corrupted. I think it's good to see her, Natty, getting an opportunity just to be on the show, right? Like, how many times has she been ignored? You do look like KO and sound like him, but are definitely not. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you. Well, wait a minute. Hold on, Ryan. You're a Red Sox fan? Oh, jeez. I thought we were gonna be friends, Ryan. I can't be friends with a Red Sox fan. No, I'm just kidding. If you said Rangers fan, then I'd have to just kick you off the show. Double D, are you a? I'm guessing you're a Yankees fan. Double D, you're a Yankees fan? I don't think you're a Mets fan. Do you like Jericho's band? I think there's something to be said for Fozzy. I remember I bought the first Fozzy album when it was literally Fozzy Osbourne, and they were covers of a bunch of '80s metal songs. That dude has definitely been able to evolve as a artist and a musician. And I mean, Judas has been crazy to hear it on Sirius XM. Even now, still hearing it on not Turbo, on Octane is pretty crazy to me. But yeah, Jericho's all right. His music's all right. She's learned a lot with Luchas. Corrupted AAA. Now I know you're trolling me, brother. Now I know it. The greatest team ever. All right, Double D. I mean, look. The same thing the Dodgers are doing now, people accuse the Yankees of doing back in the day, buying championships, and it's all good, man. It's all good. The Yankees haven't been relevant in 20 years. Ryan is throwing haymakers. I can't talk. My team is the Anaheim Angels. And in 2002, I was there in the outfield watching the Angels win the World Series, and it was one of the greatest moments of my life, and I won't trade it for anything. But man, it's been a long time since we've been in the playoff picture, and it was painful to see Shohei Ohtani go to the Dodgers. It was painful to see Pujols limp along. It was painful to see them not sign Vladimir Guerrero Jr. when they could have. And Trout is not done, dude. Take it easy. Step off the ledge. Look, Trout is not a center fielder anymore, and probably hasn't been for the last 2 years, but even as a designated hitter, he's still a threat. I don't care about football, Corrupted, so it doesn't matter to me. You know, the Rams beat the Bears. Go Rams, I guess. I'm not really an NFL guy. We ditched the wrestling talk. Now we're talking about sports and entertainment. You're mad at the Packers' loss? I think I saw my brother pop in the chat. Jim Owens. What's up, brother? I don't know if you're still on here, but how you doing? Is that my niece? Did I see my niece jump in? I can't tell if that's my niece. My Niners got embarrassed. How could you be... Foxy, I appreciate you. Foxy says, keep it on track, fellas. Get back to what's important. Pro wrestling. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, we talk NWA, and there's some news to talk about. EC3 theoretically wrestled his last match for the NWA at his own wrestling promotion, Exodus Pro. We'll be talking about that momentarily. We'll be talking about the schedule of Silas the Hillbilly Mason, who has just been on a tear as of late. We're going to be talking about new signee, PB Smooth, and what he should bring to the table for the NWA, and then we'll be taking your questions. Connecticut. I heard there's really good pizza in Connecticut. I didn't mean to offend you, Byrne. The Yankees earned those wins with hard-earned money. That's right. All right, so let's see. We're gonna start right at top of the hour talking about the NWA, National Wrestling Alliance. I hope you guys will hang out with us, and if not, that's okay. It's okay. You're just doing yourself a disservice. That and really good women's college basketball, right? Well, I mean, look, that's something. Last night we had an earthquake and my phone told me about it 5 seconds before it happened. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. I literally got a text message on my phone saying, "You might want to put on a pair of shoes. There's an earthquake coming." And I was like, "All right, let's go." And it was a big jolt. It was a big shot, a big jolt. Ben, how dare you, sir? How dare you, sir? Nick Aldis is the greatest to wrestle for the NWA. First of all, Ric Flair. Woo! And don't forget, Nick Aldis lost the NWA World Heavyweight Championship to who? Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. What's going on? I think that's Hassan's family. What's up? Hello from Turkey. What's going on, guys? I don't want to see Braun Breaker versus Adam Pearce because, quite frankly, Adam Pearce shouldn't be wrestling anymore. It would have been interesting had they did Pearce versus Aldis as a manager, general manager match like a few WrestleManias ago. But at this point, it's been like 6 years since Adam Pearce has wrestled a real match, maybe even longer than that. And I just don't think I think now would be the worst time to do it. I feel like that time has come and gone. I appreciate Foxy keeping me on top of it, man. I was about to just let you guys take over the show. And now it's time to go live on YouTube. And we're running late. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us on YouTube. Click over to the next channel. We'll be talking NWA there. Thanks, guys. And okay, cool.